Please welcome to the ring.
Man, do we have a matchup for you. Veda Scott has made her way from the East Coast. She's going to make her way into the NEW1 ring. And I don't know if you've ever seen Veda Scott before, but there's a little bit of an attitude that comes with her.
Definitely seen her wrestle before. I've heard her a lot too. Really, really great commentator, Veda Scott.
We may have the opportunity to get Veda Scott on depending on how this match goes, but she has had a curveball thrown at her at the last minute. I don't think she knows who her opponent is tonight. Veda gonna make her way into the ring, or is she just gonna argue with some fans?
You said that? I commend your honesty, honestly, I have to say. Most people would not have owned up to that. No, hold on. Do you know who my opponent is? Because I don't have one.
She genuinely
today.
doesn't know
Right,
who her
right?
opponent
I don't
is
have
tonight.
one right
It's
now.
a night of
because
surprises,
what
Rob.
they tell me this is card subject to change, right? I know some of you were here earlier today for the afternoon show. Some of you, well, let me fill you in if you weren't here. I main evented that show against one of the absolutely best professional wrestlers in the world, Nicole Matthews. I main evented that show. Did I beat Nicole Matthews? That is a detail. That is a small detail. No, I am not a details person. No. Veda Scott is a big picture person. And when it comes to the big picture of NEW, you're stuck with me, whether you like it or not. So if you thought that I was not going to have a match on this show, this is now a Veda Scott Open Challenge.
Wow, Veda Scott has just looked at the entire NEW roster and said she'll take on anyone.
We know that locker room is full of people wanting to step up in this atmosphere, in this environment, and rise to this challenge with a talent like Veda Scott.
Well, it didn't take long for somebody to answer the bell. I recognize that music. Jacky Lee!
Oh my goodness. Veda Scott says she's a big picture person. She's got a big challenge with Jacky Lee from Reloaded.
Whoa! She might have just bitten off a little more than she can chew, because Jacky Lee is one of the best acrobats in North America.
We know him predominantly from the tag scene in Vancouver, but a formidable singles opponent as well. He's got speed, he's got agility, he's got power off that top rope, he's got it all.
This is interesting. We will see Jacky Lee's partner, Sharif Morrow, in action against Bishop later on. You got to know that Jacky Lee was sitting back there waiting for an opportunity to make an impact as well, and here it is with the Veda Scott Open Challenge.
But one thing I will say, guys, is she puts out the challenge, and you couldn't have counted a 3 before the music hit. He wanted to get to the ring, and he gets his shot against one of the most noted wrestlers on the indie scene in Veda Scott.
Did he just cement himself as the quickest wrestler in NEW with the speed in which he got out here and answered that challenge?
He pushed people out of the way at catering, I tell you that much.
There was a leapfrog or two that happened as well.
Somebody's head went straight into the Greek potatoes as Jacky Lee rushed down to the ring to take up this challenge.
Well, you know what's interesting is they are very similar in stature, both of them just 5'4".
She is a cunning veteran, though.
This is going to be a really interesting match. Guys, we knew the entire card well before the night started. This is the virtual unknown.
You never know what you're going to get when you go to an NW show, but you will know you're going to have a great time. Listen to this crowd.
Card, of course, subject to change. This was originally going to be a fatal 4-way match that involved the return of Alex Plexus, who we mentioned earlier in the show. A very familiar name to longtime wrestling fans in the Vancouver scene. He's been gone for a little while. We have to wait a little longer to see him return to the ring here in Vancouver, but a very enticing name on the NEW roster.
I was there in 2015 when Alex Plexus won the Pacific Cup. I cannot wait to see him back in action.
And he will be back in action. He has just moved to the October 9th card, but look at this one. Veda Scott an open challenge to the entire NEW roster, and it is Jacky Lee who accepts the challenge. Now the question is, will he accept the challenge in the ring?
Veda displaying a little bit of arrogance in the early going here. You saw it in the way she talked down to the crowd before the match, and she's giving it to Jacky in the early going as well.
Veda Scott making her pro debut in 2011, celebrating 10 years in the wrestling business. We'll see if that experience comes into play against the young upstart, Jacky Lee.
Well, Jacky Lee saying that he's not in for a short match. He's ready to go, being challenged by Veda Scott. That's also a bad idea.
Mentioned Veda as a commentator earlier. Fans of All Elite Wrestling will be familiar. She was on the commentary team for the Deadly Draw, the women's tag team tournament in All Elite Wrestling.
As a commentator, she showcases the mind that she has, the insight that she has into professional wrestling, and you're going to see that backed up in the ring right here.
Oh, she's being bamboozled at the moment by the speed of Jacky Lee.
I told you, Jacky moves quick.
That back locker room is full of people that were just bamboozled by the speed of Jacky Lee.
Veda Scott from Providence, Rhode Island, via Montreal, Quebec, here tonight in Richmond, British Columbia.
If this was a cartoon, she'd have had the little birds floating around her head. The speed that Jacky ran circles around her. Some viciousness now from Scott, laying in boots to the ribs.
Goodness gracious. There's no other way to describe that other than holy smokes right across the solar plexus.
They could hear that all the way back in Montreal.
With a little cheese and gravy. Jacky Lee, Veda Scott back into the ring now. Veda on the offensive. Lee still wilted from that chop that he took.
Veda Scott positioning him for an axe kick there.
Heel directly to the spine, it looked like. Veda now wrenching those fingers, and you can see on the face of Jacky exactly how much pain that's inflicting.
Lee with a kick right into the midsection. Veda Scott with a knee right back to the stomach area again. Jacky trying to get on the offensive. Veda's got an answer for everything that Jacky Lee's brought to the table so far.
It's that veteran mindset. She's been in the trenches before. She knows what to expect.
She knew she was not going to get the pinfall with that 1 foot cover. She's just trying to insult this man here.
And Veda Scott, in her British Columbia debut, walk out with a victory here tonight. NEW1 underway. Big kick to the back. Got a clothesline. Full 180, and now Jacky Lee trying to use the proverbial shake the cobwebs out.
Jacky Lee's got to be careful here. You can't make that many mistakes in the ring against Veda Scott. She will make you pay.
Jacky might be a little bit off his game. He didn't bring his keyblade out to the ring with him.
You can't make that many mistakes out of the ring either.
The keyblade is a big part of the gimmick.
It's the source of all of his powers, Rob.
Well, maybe that means Sharif will bring both of them out later on when he takes on Bishop.
Oh, he's going to need them.
Oh, yes, he did. We saw Bishop earlier taking on Parm Singh, and it was a very lopsided affair.
It was a physical devastation, Rob. It's okay to say it.
All right, it was a shit kicking, for lack of a better phrase. Veda Scott, knee right into the... Boy, she might be down. She went right into that solid post, and now Jacky Lee's going to try to take advantage of it.
Surprising mean streak from Jacky Lee here.
Ankle directly into the ring post, but perhaps Veda suckering him in now. Locking in the label lock on the floor.
There has been a battle for control in this match ever since it got out of the ring.
Lee back into the ring. Veda Scott chasing him in there.
Just stalking him into the ring.
Jacky Lee, a very popular man with this crowd, has to draw on the love of this audience now to get back into this match.
Veda Scott with a big snap suplex there on Jacky Lee. Dusts her hands off, plays to the crowd. Jacky Lee's in deep trouble.
I'm impressed, guys. I haven't seen a lot of Veda Scott lately, but she has an arsenal that is pretty formidable.
You can just tell the disdain she has for her opponents, too. The viciousness.
Another snap suplex. Just the spine of Jacky Lee really feeling it every single time he gets dropped by Veda Scott.
Front face lock on Jacky Lee now. Veda Scott looks like she may be setting up for a DDT. Another suplex, perhaps. She's going for another suplex, guys.
Wait a second. Jackie's going to try to block it. Oh, Jacky Lee gets Veda up and over.
Into the well, 1-2 off the drop.
What a reversal from Jacky Lee, and that might be just the opening he needs to get right back in this thing. A clothesline, a drop kick.
And he is feeding off the momentum from this crowd. They love him.
Jacky a little slow, but I think that just made him even more angry. And now he catches Veda Scott, flips it around, leg backbreaker, and now takes her down to the mat.
Shades of Ted DiBiase Jr. This crowd firmly behind Jacky Lee, bounces off the middle rope, big splash on Veda Scott. Only gets a 2 count.
You can see Scott just absolutely gassed right now, gasping for air. And Jacky Lee knows he has an opportunity here to keep going. He's going to do just that, a bulldog into the turnbuckle.
When he lands that middle rope splash, he can feel and hear all the air coming out of his opponent.
Up again, but this time he gets caught. I'll tell you this, when you ask for anybody, you never know what you're going to get, and I think Veda Scott's realizing she may have bitten off more than she can chew tonight.
Sizing up Jacky Lee in disbelief here. Veda Scott can't believe this young kid's hanging with her for as long as he is. Backstabber from Jacky Lee. Following up with a Meteora. Close 2 count on Veda Scott.
And
wow.
You can see on the face of Jacky, he thought he had Veda. He can't believe this thing's not over.
He's got to be frustrated, Justin.
But this crowd now firmly in the corner of Jacky Lee. They were from the start, but they're really feeling him now.
Lee not known for his brute strength, try to get Veda Scott up. And now Scott back on the offensive, and that goes right to the back of the head. Does she have the pinfall?
He could be out.
Gets the shoulder up.
Jack, yeah, looking for a crossface here.
If she gets it, there's no way he gets out of this. There's no way. But he finds the rope.
Savvy veteran move.
Yes.
She's using that entire 5 count to take out that arm.
Referee doing his best to keep this under control.
All he can do is count to 5.
That's what they tell you to do in ref school.
There's a school for refs?
It's a short program.
Jacky Lee goes all the way up to the top and misses the mark.
He was going for that top rope Meteora. He's used it to finish a lot of matches. Big spear from Veda Scott.
What a cutter from Scott. We
That
thought
has to be it. That has to be it.
Jacky might be out on his feet earlier. Let's see if he's got anything left in the tank now. What a kick out! Jacky Lee is still kicking.
Veda Scott transitioning into the crossface though.
She's been looking for this move the entire match and finally has it locked in right in the middle of the ring, but oh, the shoulders were down briefly.
Brilliant move. The best reversal out of any submission is to try and turn it into a pinfall.
Wait a second, Veda got the 3 count. The crowd is stunned,
The winner of this
and
match,
Veda Scott has walked into Richmond and stolen a victory from Jacky Lee.
Well, the frustration is palpable on Jacky Lee. Somebody we're used to seeing out here smiling, loving it with the crowd. He is not happy about what just happened.
Wow, Veda Scott has made an impression here tonight.
And a shrug emoji, and then there she goes.
Good on Jacky Lee for taking